In the vast maze of the internet, danger rarely knocks. It swipes. It pings. It vibrates softly in your hand at 2 a.m. Some connections are innocent. Some, a trap wrapped in pixels. Miranda Corsette was 16, a young mother, a frequent runaway, they said. But what happened to her in February 2024 is something far more sinister than a runaway story. What began as a Valentine's Day meeting turned into days of torture, murder, and a gruesome disposal no family should ever endure. This is the story of Miranda Corsette, a story of overlooked warning signs, technology turned weapon, and a darkness hiding in plain sight. I'm Crime Uncoded. Let's begin. Miranda lived in St. Petersburg, Florida. Her life wasn't easy. She was homeschooled. Her parents were gone. She was living with her grandmother, and she was already a mother herself, to an 11-month-old daughter. To the outside world, Miranda might have looked like another troubled teen. A frequent runaway, police called her. That phrase alone would cost her more than anyone realized. It framed how people viewed her disappearance, even before she vanished. But was she really running away? Or was she running towards something? A better life, an escape, someone who might understand her. The tragic irony? She did find someone, but he wasn't a savior. He was a predator. His name, Stephen Gress, 35 years old, ex-convict, dangerous, and the tool he used to lure her? An app meant for adults. Grindr. She meets Gress on February 14th. She visits him once, and returns the next day. 2 visits, it's a budding connection, but something here smells off. A gritty chunk of speculation. She may have thought he was older but safe. He may have seemed lonely, troubled, a man recently out of prison who'd never had anything of his own, including a special ring. Maybe she tried to help. Maybe she didn't fully grasp the danger. Either way, she goes back, and she never comes back home. Grindr is designed for LGBTQ+ adults. It's not supposed to be a playground for minors. Yet somehow, Miranda was there, and Stephen Gress found her. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, the two met. The day of love. The day that would become her final turning point. She met him once and went back home. Maybe she was testing the waters, unsure of him. But then, something made her return. And after that second visit, Miranda Corsette was never seen alive again. There are those who ask, why would a 16-year-old mother meet a 35-year-old stranger on an app like Grindr? But that question misses the point. Why was Grindr not equipped to verify ages? Why was a known predator like Gress allowed to roam freely, setting digital traps? This wasn't about love. It was about control. And once Miranda stepped through his door that second time, the trap snapped shut. What followed between February 20th and 24 is almost unspeakable. But we must speak it. Because silence is how evil thrives. Gress claimed that Miranda had stolen a ring from him, a small material object, and for that he made her pay with pain. He beat her, brutalized her, daily. Reports say he lumped her up, slang for battering someone until they swell. Miranda was photographed in this state, naked, bruised, tortured. And those photos, he didn't just keep them, he sent them to acquaintances, to his own mother, his mother. She saw those images and said nothing. Let that sink in. Reddit users would later speculate, was she afraid or was she complicit? Whatever the answer, she didn't report it. No one did. Not the roommates, not the friends, not the mother. And so Miranda's suffering continued, in silence. February 24th. Miranda is still in the house, still alive, but not for long. The method of her murder defies logic, decency, and humanity. A pool ball, a sock, plastic wrap. Michelle Brandis, Gress's 37-year-old girlfriend, took the pool ball, wrapped it in a sock, and shoved it into Miranda's mouth. Then, she sealed Miranda's entire head in plastic wrap. Suffocation. It wasn't quick. It wasn't merciful. Gress allegedly tried to intervene, told Brandis not to cover her nose. Too late. Miranda Corsette suffocated at 16 years old. You'd think that would be the end of it. But no, what came next is worse. Instead of panicking, instead of guilt, they celebrated. With Miranda's body in their vehicle, Gress and Brandis went to Popeyes. They played mini-golf. It was Brandis's birthday. They celebrated. Let that image settle into your mind. The killers, laughing, eating fried chicken, putting golf balls into fake volcanoes, and Miranda's body slowly decaying in their trunk. This wasn't just a lack of remorse. It was a celebration of evil. They weren't done. They drove Miranda's body to Ruskin, Florida, to Brandis's mother's house. There they dismembered her, tore her apart, not with surgical precision, with rage, with detachment. Then they placed the body parts into trash bags and dumped her in a commercial dumpster behind a random business. By the time authorities tracked it down, it had been emptied, sent to a landfill. Her body, likely incinerated with thousands of tons of waste. Miranda Corsette was erased, not just killed, deleted. Miranda wasn't reported missing until February 26th, 2 days after she was murdered. Why? Because she was labeled a frequent runaway. No Amber Alert, no urgency, no media coverage. Gulfport police admitted they knew her well, but familiarity bred apathy. It took a tip. A friend of Miranda's provided the name, Stephen Gress. By then, the crime was done. The evidence mostly gone. The dumpster already picked up. Imagine the despair of detectives realizing they were chasing ghosts. And yet, slowly, details emerged. Witnesses cracked, warrants were filed, and eventually, the arrests came. But justice delayed is often justice denied. This case isn't just about Tinder or Grindr or dating apps. It's about society's complicity in ignoring runaway teens, adults preying behind screens, and communities walking past their pain. Pictures sent, shared, ignored, death twisted into celebration. What can we learn? When any minor goes missing, it's not just a runaway. When you see injustice, you act. When there's tech distancing us from consequences, evil finds space. Could this be prevented? Better monitoring on apps, better listening to communities. Miranda's family is now suing Grindr. The lawsuit alleges negligence, failure to verify user ages, and allowing adults to connect with minors. Gress, they say, used the platform to hunt. And Grindr gave him the tools. It's not the first time an app has led to a murder. And unless platforms change their policies, it won't be the last. Technology is a tool, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon. There's no way around that. The lawsuit filed by her family says Grindr didn't do enough to verify users' ages. They've since been sued. And Reddit exploded with threads. How many more teens are on there right now? How many more Gresses are waiting? We live in a time when algorithms connect us, but they don't protect us. They don't ask, "Are you old enough?" They just ask, "Are you available?" That's the scariest part. Apps are the new hunting grounds, and predators are logging in every day. What haunts me most isn't just the brutality, it's the silence. Roommates heard her screams. Gress's mother saw the photos. Neighbors noticed strange behavior. No one spoke up. 6 people, authorities say, knew. 6. And yet, Miranda died alone. What kind of society allows that? We love to post hashtags when it's too late. But what about when it matters? When the screams are still echoing through the walls? Miranda Corsette was 16. She wasn't perfect, but she deserved protection. She deserved to grow up. She deserved to raise her daughter. Instead, she was tortured, killed, dismembered. Forgotten by systems meant to protect her. So tonight, remember her name. Speak it. Say it louder than the silence that let her die. Miranda Corsette should have been protected. She should have been heard. She should have been rescued. Instead, she was tortured, murdered, dismembered, erased. And all because the people who could have stopped it didn't. Let this be your reminder. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't look away from the noise. Don't assume someone else will call. Because sometimes, silence is the loudest killer of all. I'm Crime Uncoded, and this was the story of Miranda Corsette. If this story haunted you as much as it haunted me, consider subscribing to Crime Uncoded. We break down cases that fall through the cracks, the stories the mainstream forgets, the mysteries that still whisper in the dark. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new decoding. Leave a comment, especially if you have theories, updates, or local insights. And remember, the scariest monsters are the ones that look just like us. Until next time, this has been Crime Uncoded, signing off. Stay safe, stay skeptical, and never ignore your gut.